Window Cleaning 101, an introduction to window cleaning techniques. Window cleaning is the basic function we perform, and in order to progress here, you'll need to master the basics of window cleaning and maintain quality and efficiency on a consistent basis. Your tool setup. Your tool belt setup and assigned equipment are your responsibility and must be properly maintained for the duration of your employment with A1 Integrity. These tools are yours to keep, and you are responsible for the accountability of them. Crew leaders and other employees will not loan towels or forgotten items to employees who cannot account for their equipment. Make sure that your equipment setup is adjusted to what feels best for you. A good equipment setup can vastly improve your efficiency. Equipment includes a bucket on a belt, or bob. You use this to carry water, your strip washer, squeegees, and other items. This is exactly as it sounds, it's a bucket on a belt. Keep water in the bucket, but be careful to not spill things or knock things over with your bob. An 18-inch strip washer or stripper. Use this to wet down the window. If you do not remove your stripper from your bob and rinse it at the end of every day, they will stink. 18-inch angled squeegee. This is the main squeegee you'll use. Make sure to protect the delicate blade from nicks and damage. 18-inch straight-handled squeegee. Use this for a pole or to get into tight areas or deep recesses in windows. 6-inch squeegee. This is for use on smaller windows or for finishing up where 18-inch squeegees leave leftover water on the edge of the window. You can also use your 6-inch to get water off the window sills after washing them. White scrub pad and pouch. The pad is used for scrubbing debris from window and frames. The holder is where the scrub pad is held. Use only white scrub pads we supply. Other types can scratch glass. Steel wool and a holder for your steel wool. Use only the steel wool we provide. Other steel wool can scratch glass. Extension pole. Use this for accessing glass that's either too difficult to reach or large. Use caution with an extension pole. Do not attempt to use an extension pole until you have mastered hand cleaning. Slop towel. This is a larger towel used to wipe frames and sloppy water from around the window. Drying towel are generally blue and used to wipe any excess water from windows, leaving no marks or debris behind. Wash with a small amount of bleach for best drying effects, and do not use a fabric softener when washing any of your equipment. Drop towel. A large towel used to cover carpets, furniture, or office desks from inadvertent drips while cleaning windows. Booties. We put booties over our shoes when entering a customer's house. This protects their carpet from dirt from an employee's shoes. Our standard is for employees to use booties rather than take off their shoes. Each employee should have a supply of booties at all times. A razor scraper. Use this as a last resort to scrape materials off of windows that are stubborn. Do not use a razor scraper unless you have been approved by a manager. Only crew leaders have access to razor scrapers. Some other items that you may come into contact with include a gutter scoop, a screen pulling tool, a screwdriver, and various other items. Wetting the window. Use your strip water and methodically wet the entire window. Start by quickly determining if there are any areas on the window needing special scrubbing attention before you wet. Areas like bird poop, fingerprints, etc. These can take some extra scrubbing, so it's good to notice these before you cover them up with suds. You'll want to make sure that you wet the entire window down so that every square inch of the window is covered with water. Make sure to go over the sides, top, and bottom of the window along with the center. Generally, you will want to finish wetting the top because it will be the first to dry on a warm day. Additionally, wet down the frame and the tracks of the window. Scrubbing the window and frame. In most cases, window cleaning includes window glass, frames, tracks, screens, and any area that was affected by water you used. Dripping dirty water down the siding or on the floor needs to be wiped away. We want to leave every area nicer than when you got there. You will use your white scrub pad, scrub the surface of the glass until you're confident residue and debris is removed. Use the white pad to wipe down the frame of the window and clean the window tracks. You can use a screwdriver or screen brush to get to the channel corners. If you were on the inside of the window that opens, open the window and wipe out the tracks. Do not use scrub pads or steel wool on tinted windows or plastic glass, it will scratch it. If you're in doubt, always ask your supervisor. Using your squeegee. The squeegee is the hardest part of the process and is an art that requires a certain amount of finesse. Before squeegeeing a window, wipe down the frames of the window with your slop towel. But save the bottom tracks for last since you will have water drip into them as you squeegee. Determine which squeegee method you will use on the window. For tall windows, use a vertical pole, while wider windows use a horizontal pole. The goal is to break down the window cleaning process into the least number of steps and motions. This translates into speed and efficiency. The horizontal and vertical pull methods are basically the same thing, just rotated at 90 degrees. For both pull methods, start by making sure the window is completely wet. If the window is not wet enough, the squeegee rubber will not pull across the surface of the glass smoothly and will leave lines and marks. Using your slop towel, make sure that your squeegee rubber is free of any debris or nicks by wiping it. Now, with that slop towel or the corner of your squeegee, dry a line across the top of the window against the frame. Next, in the upper right-hand corner of the window, place the squeegee channel horizontal and with a smooth, even motion, draw the squeegee down the window while maintaining contact with the white window frame. It is important to keep even pressure and an even angle on the squeegee all the way down. When pulling the squeegee down, you will want to slightly angle the squeegee with the right tip down. This is because that angle pulls the water as you pull the squeegee down away from the glass that you are squeegee drying. If at the end of this process you have water left on the window at the bottom, or on the sides that is between 1 inch to 4 inches wide, you can use your 6-inch squeegee to finish this process in the same manner as your 18-inch squeegee. Drying your window. Use your slop towel to wipe out the tracks. Use the drying towel and trace a line where the glass and frame meet around the window. Make sure that you are moving your finger to a dry spot on the towel throughout the process. Use the drying towel to remove any lines or marks left behind on the window. After this, quality check. Check the entire window for spots or areas that you may have missed or not scrubbed off. It often helps to get at a lower angle, looking up at the window to see any debris that is left over. It will take practice to focus on the glass rather than what is beyond the glass. Make sure you're spending quality time checking over the glass. Speed is not nearly as important to us as quality and consistency. We cannot use people that cannot stand behind the quality of their work. The 4-0 steel wool can be used to remove small amounts of debris rather than re-cleaning the window. Make sure that the window is not tinted or coated with any materials before using this steel wool. Steel wool will not scratch glass, but it will scratch plastic or tinting. Other stuff, or random stuff. Screen cleaning is included with our window cleaning service. Unless the screens or tracks are excessively dirty, we do not charge extra for cleaning. Pulling the screens can sometimes be tricky. It is important to remember these steps so we do not damage any screens. Push against the frame adjacent to the lower spring. This should allow you to get a screwdriver between the window frame and the screen frame. Make sure that you are handling the screen within 5 inches of the corner to avoid bending the screen frames. Once you get one corner out, then you can just pull from that corner outward until the whole screen is out. Super important to ensure that you are not pushing in on the screen towards the middle. This will bend it. To put a screen back in, first place the spring edges back in the window frame. Then either push the top or the bottom corner of the tabs into the channel, making sure to only put pressure on the frame within 5 inches of the corner of the screen. You can simultaneously apply pressure directly to the spring with your opposite hand to get more leverage. Once one corner is in, you may have to repeat the process in the other corner. If the screen doesn't seem to come in or go out, ask your supervisor to help. Do not bend screens. They are extremely fragile. If you do accidentally bend a screen, tell your supervisor. We do not want to surprise customers. If the screen has excessive dirt or debris, use your strip washer to wet down the material, then dry it off with your slop towel, paying special attention to the frame of the screens, especially in the corners and the frame that is lowest to the ground. Again, do not put any pressure on the screens further than 5 inches from the corners. Loading and unloading trucks is a very important step in the process. Make sure that ladders and equipment are secured properly to the ladder rack. Each ladder should not extend more than 2 foot past the rear bumper of the truck without having a hazard flag. Do not place ladders on trucks without securing them to the rack. If you're not securing the ladder to the rack, then just leave it on the ground next to the truck until it's ready to be secured. If everybody's responsibility is to ensure trucks are secured before driving away from the work site, then we will have no accidents. This includes making sure tailgate strap is secured and taut so as to ensure no equipment falls out of the truck in the event the rear doors open unexpectedly. Razor scrapers are a tool that only experienced window cleaners can use. Do not use a razor scraper unless you have been given permission by your supervisor. These tools are very dangerous, not only to flesh, but also to glass. Don't touch one. Don't even look at it. If you see any scratches on glass, stop and show it to your supervisor immediately. This must be documented and brought to the customer's attention before we continue. Tempered glass is safety glass. This glass is manufactured with plastic adhesive between multiple panes. This glass does not shatter. The plastic holds it together. This glass is used on all applications when a window is within 18 inches of the ground and has a small inscription in the corner of the pane reading tempered. If the inscription is inverted, then the glass was put on by the manufacturer backwards. It will most certainly scratch, and it will probably get damaged if you use anything but soap and water on it. If you're unsure about this glass, ask your supervisor. Something you might also run into is silicone on a glass or water stains. For silicone, we use isopropyl alcohol to remove it. Spray isopropyl alcohol directly onto the silicone, and then wipe it off with a clean towel. Do not use your strip washer or scrubber to scrub the alcohol. It will embed in the stripper, and then you just rub silicone all around the window. Work harder, not smarter. Water spot treatment. We have a variety of products that we can use to remove water stains from glass, including shower door glass. Depending on the product we are using, there are a variety of different techniques we employ. Only senior service techs and above are offered water spot removal training. If you run into windows with water spots, talk to your supervisor. Our standard window cleaning will not remove water spots.
Welcome to the A1 crew.